Hey, I'm going to talk about the Wizards. The Washington Wizards made a great trade yesterday for Cam Whitmore. Let's talk about it. All throughout the draft process, the Wizards were attached to Ace Bailey from Rutgers. He ended up going one pick before them, but they still get to take a flyer on a scoring, athletic wing in Cam Whitmore, who has not really gotten a chance so far in the NBA because he played for a pretty good Houston Rockets team, but now he will be able to explore the studio space with a rebuilding Wizards team. I loved Cam as a prospect when he was coming out. There were a lot of red flags with him, obviously. He did not get a ton of assists in college. His handle was super shaky. He kind of didn't make great decisions on either end, but the dude is a beast athlete. If you catch him on the right night in the open court, man, he looks like prime LeBron. It's kind of crazy. If I were the Wizards, I would try to get them out running as much as possible so Cam can show off just what a beast he can be in the open court. He's a decent shooter for a wing, average shooter. In college, he shot well off the catch. In the NBA, he shot well off the catch. He's obviously been playing in an environment right now that was playing with a bunch of guys who wanted to take a bunch of shots. But he did play really well off Alperen Şengün last year. He figured out how to play off of a big that, demands a ton of attention, demands double teams. And Şengün was able to reward him on cuts and catch and shoot threes, and that's kind of the ideal role for Cam in the half court, I think. Now, Cam isn't going to be running 100 pick and rolls a game. You don't want him making a ton of decisions with the ball, but I think he could be like a souped-up version of what Kelly Oubre has been for the Sixers, where he's just finishing plays for better players, and they're more of the hub of your offense, and then Cam can be a complementary piece on offense. I think he's got real potential, man. I know that Cam hasn't had the easiest ride so far in college in the NBA, and a lot of people want to write off these quote-unquote low-feel wings, but I still think that if you have a decent amount of touch like Cam does, you have crazy athleticism, legit positional size, and strength, there is a place for you in the NBA. He's just too talented to not be an NBA player. Now, he might be a bench player because of, some of the flaws we talked about, and, he might see himself as someone even better than that, and there might be some growing pains. But Cam is just very obviously an NBA player. He's got an NBA body. This is a great flyer to take for the Wizards, who missed out on the guy that they wanted to take. I would have taken Trey Johnson over Ace, so I understand that some fans were upset they didn't get him. If you ask me, I would rather have Cam Whitmore for 2 second-round picks and Trey Johnson, because I think Trey has an elite skill in shooting. I think he's an underrated playmaker and passer. Now, he's got a lot to work on, too. This Wizards team really needs rim pressure, and Cam will bring you that. None of their best players ever get to the rim. Bob Carrington doesn't get to the rim. Trey Johnson doesn't get to the rim. Even Sarr, for a big, does not get to the rim. This is the kind of guy you want to try to go out and pick up that will just get to the rim a ton. You want to get a guy who gets easy offense for your team, and I think that he'll be a nice piece moving forward.